I am delighted. You are responsible for so much, man. You are responsible for so much in the South of Nowhere world, in the Matt Cohen world, in the Mandy world, in the Tommy world. And I have to tell you, just of this week, I've kind of ended my run at Entertainment Tonight, and I'm moving on from there. And so I've had some spare time given the strike, and so I'm kind of reaching out to the people that I started my career with, the people that I haven't seen in a long time, and I definitely haven't talked to enough. You're one of those people, and just as this is happening, you email. You'll send these emails once in a while, and you'll touch base with all the cast. And what's beautiful about it is you are continuing to keep us in contact. So on that same email, the great and powerful Tommy Lynch was connected, and I saw him respond first, and I like to be the first to respond to you, so I responded second. And I said, "Hey, Travis, it would be awesome to have you on a podcast. Nobody knows South of Nowhere better. And it would be awesome to get Tommy on because I know he's got all sorts of things going on and he created South of Nowhere."
Yeah.
So, because of you sending this email, I got Tommy in here this week. We sat down for an hour and had a face to face where we chopped it up about anything and everything. And it was really nice to sit down and talk to him. And I just want to thank you for that, Travis. We talk about you in the podcast, me and Tommy Lynch.
Oh,
Talk,
that's really cool.
yeah, it's really
Yeah.
cool. Now, you are kind of our unofficial, official, um, kind of the guidance counselor of South of Nowhere. You've taken on the task of keeping it alive and making sure the sentiments and the echoes they reverberate forever and ever through these characters and to the people and giving voices to all. My question for you, Travis, and this is more of a conversation and a hangout than an interview. I'm not going to go all interview guy on you, but I want to know from the start, the first time you laid eyes on South of Nowhere, what was it that grabbed you? What was the thing? What is it? Tell me.
Well, I think I saw an ad or something, and I was like, "Holy crap! They put this on TV." Because like there's so much censorship and uh, uptightness, especially more so back then. And I was like, "Crap! This is on TV." And it's like that you were actually able to put like a gay storyline with younger people too. I'm like, this is real. Like,
Yeah.
and I like shows that like push boundaries and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I have to check this out. I was like, first I was like, Spencer Ashley. That sounds just like it could be a guy and a girl. So I didn't think about it at first. Then I saw the picture and I'm like, holy crap, they put this on TV. Yeah.
That's amazing. Tommy and I
Yeah.
sat in here and we talked about the kind of profound messages we were allowed to bring to the screen back then when this was in a Hollywood before diverse Hollywood came into action and
Yeah.
before Hollywood stepped up their respect for women. This was a time where we were fighting
Yeah.
to get anything out there, right? There wasn't a lot of gay
Yeah.
storylines on television. There wasn't a lot of gay teen storylines,
Yeah. I
lesbian.
think it was like the first gay teen storyline that actually had a like as the main characters.
Yeah, and I
Like,
know if anybody can talk on how many people have been affected, tell me a little bit about some of the people that reach out to you. I know you have this online
yeah,
presence.
sometimes sometimes in the past I've gotten people that think I'm directly associated with the show. Like I
Well,
was,
you are.
no,
You
you know what I
are.
mean? Like no, but I get the stories that you guys should be getting. That's why I send sometimes I send you guys like I tell them write something and I will send it to them so
Yeah.
that they can get you can actually hear the stories that because they're just telling me. I'm like, I'm not actually, I'm sort of unofficially a celebrity based on this kind of like the
Listen, you could call it unofficial, but as far as I'm concerned, you are like the official heartbeat of South of Nowhere, and you have been since you discovered it. And I got to
yeah,
be honest, my personal opinion is I just feel so much gratitude, not only that you kind of keep the sentiment alive of what South of Nowhere was and what it stood for, a voice for so many, but you bring it to people. You kind of throw a couple of new eyes on it by just keeping talking about it, tweeting about it, whatever whatever
Yeah,
you do. And I think there's a voice there for many. I think, and Tommy and I talked about some interesting things, like how many moms out there, before they understood their gay child or their lesbian child that was in the
yeah,
closet, were Spencer's mom. How many of
yeah,
them had that take and that brutality, and then
yeah.
here we are, we're making a show about it, we're showing that love is love
See,
and it's wide open.
I started it. I started like late. I think I started watching it in 2008 when it was almost over. And
Yeah.
I don't think I ever actually watched an episode when it was actually live. I always like at first watched it. Comcast had a bunch on demand, and so I watched what I could, and then after the series was over, I went back and like on their website they used to have all the episodes,
Yeah.
and so I went back and checked them all out, and it's funny, like a day after I was done, I was like, hmm, I like to write and I like South of Nowhere. So I should go on a website that's for writing about South of Nowhere. So so I went so I joined this different fan fiction site, and then I thought then like I had a problem with my account. So I contacted the webmaster to talk about it, and I started saying, I have these ideas. And she's like, well, you could be a webmaster and help me out. And that's when I got the idea. Hey, it would be cool to interview these people. And so I took a shot. I found Tom's email and didn't expect to ever hear from him. And then he's telling me, yeah, sure, I'll do an interview. So,
It's it is. I mean, it really is a full circle moment. And for me, like South of Nowhere is the most kind of full circle moment because it's my first acting job. I didn't know if I was going to be able to cut it in LA. And I came out here and I was trying real hard. And that show, ended up giving me my first acting job, my wife, which led to my child, a group of friends that
oh,
I yeah, a group of friends that I've had for a long time, a group of very talented people I could reach out to as a director and cast in anything. And not only that, like Tommy Lynch and I are talking creatively what we can do. We want to do
yeah,
something, whether it be South related or something
yeah,
completely different. I see a future in where I perhaps work behind the camera for Tommy. I see a world where
yeah,
I run a show for him, direct a slew of episodes, or hop back in front of the camera and do
yeah.
double duty. I'm not scared of it, and I actually have a pitch for Ashley and Aiden.
Weed.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I've been like I could always come up with that stuff. Like I can so at this point I can figure out a way to relate anything to South of Nowhere. Like I'll be sitting there and talking to somebody, and then I'm like, hey, wait, this is connected to South of Nowhere this way. Like, and I actually um about a year ago, like around a year ago, I was able to move out, and I live in an apartment now.
Awesome.
And yeah, and there's a girl who's pretty open minded down the hallway, and I've actually started showing her the episodes. We're almost
Awesome.
all the way through, and she's like really into it. And she's she was talking about how was it what did she say? Aiden's a manho or something like that.
Oh, yes, he is.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, it was funny. And she's like, yeah, tell Matt I thought Aiden was a man. I was like, okay.
Listen, Aiden was a manho in the most respectful use of the
Yeah,
phrase, because he was a guy that was confused,
yeah,
not unlike myself. Like, just he's
yeah,
figuring himself out, and I think that time,
and
those high school years, are
yeah,
it's a time where none of us know who they are. Travis, to be honest, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I stood for
yeah,
until I was 35 years old. Like
yeah.
it takes a long time
And
to figure it
that
out.
reminds me of
Go ahead.
something. That reminds me of something Arthur says to Spencer. He said something like, if people have made up their mind about what or who and what they are at your age, then they've made the decision way too quickly.
Wow. How
Yeah,
powerful is that
yeah,
today? Hearing that
that's
today,
what.
how powerful.
Yeah, like that's why I think Arthur is like the best TV dad ever. Like, screw the Brady dad and the Cosby and all that stuff.
100%. And I'll tell you
Yeah,
this, Rob Moran was the guy to play Arthur Carlin
yeah,
because
it was perfect.
Rob, another guy who I'm back in his life, him and I are trying to produce some movies together. He
Mhm.
is just always been the most like open-hearted presence when you're
Yeah,
around him.
he's
No matter
great.
who you are or what you stand for, he's there for you. He's got your back. And
Mhm.
you need a guy like that, a father figure on a show with a bunch of us dumb kids running around crazy, pretending we're Hollywood
Yeah,
actors, not knowing what's going on. You need a presence like
yeah,
a Maeve and a Arthur and a
yeah,
and a Rob,
yeah.
a
Like
Tommy, and a Nancy and
Tom. Yeah,
me.
I can't remember how many times Tom during we did a um we actually most of the interviews I did through emails, but with him and Rob and a couple other times I actually did it over the phone, and I can't remember how many times uh Rob or no Tom said refer to you guys as the characters.
Oh
Like he
yeah.
just kept saying Aiden and Ashley instead of Matt and Mandy or
Yeah, listen, it's all right. I've been on a lot of
yeah,
sets where actors get aggravated if you don't call them by the
yeah.
right name. And I've also been on sets where actors get aggravated if you don't call them by the character name. And you know what I
Yeah,
got
I've
to say?
heard of that. The method thing, yeah.
Look, I'll tell you this at the end of the day. Who gives a shit? I don't mean to
Yeah,
be not, not have feelings towards what people want,
yeah,
but look, making TV and making movies is a difficult process, requires hundreds of people to come together as a unit, work together towards the same single image, basically, or
yeah,
creatively. And it's difficult. And actors are just a wheel in the cog of that experience. And it's important, I think, in my humblest of opinions, that actors not see themselves more special than the crew members, the stuntman, the producers, the EP, the director, the writer, the crafty person, the person
yeah,
bringing the coffee truck. If we all put ourselves on the same playing field and fight towards the same common goal, which is making the greatest piece of entertainment anybody's ever seen, then boom, you knock it out of the park. But it's when, sometimes actors don't want to, don't want to commit to that.
that's one thing that I always tell people. They like what you guys are like. I was like, they aren't. First of all, they're not really different than your non-celebrity people,
Yeah.
and second, they're like you guys aren't assholes about fame. Like maybe you didn't reach the levels of super famedom to where you become asshole,
I'll
but
tell you this. Hey, check it out. I've done a lot of work over 17, 18 years in Hollywood. I've worked with numerous greats, you name them, male, female actresses that are, household names. I have 3 Emmys. I have all this stuff, but none of it matters to me. And if I don't get another job and that other job is the thing I want to be doing, it's just work. It really is.
yeah,
I'm wildly creatively passionate. I feel like I can deliver on the highest levels with the highest caliber professionals in my business. I've been here for 17, 18 years. I don't care if you call me my name, my character's name, hey director, hey guy, whatever you need, just
yeah,
communicate with me so I can help you and you can help
yeah.
me. We can come together in perfect harmony, Travis. A lot like this beautiful podcast. You and I on a Friday afternoon, your big old smile is it's bringing all the joy that I needed today. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. By the way, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm wearing the convention T-shirt.
Thought I recognized
Yeah,
that
and also the convention anniversary 10 years is going to be on the 19th.
of this month.
Yes.
Wow. I'm so glad. Do you see all the special reasons that this podcast had to happen? You made this happen. It's the 10-year anniversary. You brought Tommy Lynch into my life. It's just so many beautiful moments because
Well,
of you. Never stop reaching out, Travis. Not just to me in the
yeah.
South group, but to
Yeah.
whoever you reach out to, I think it is wildly important because you really do touch people. You have a special ability to kind of connect people and bring the best out of our hearts. So don't
Yeah.
stop doing what you do, man.
I just feel like I'm getting like extremely lucky and like sometimes because I don't really feel like I'm doing anything special. I just get to be um around you guys because you give me the opportunity. Like it's weird because like that I figured that number one I wasn't gonna get one interview and then because of that interview there was something that was taken out that mentioned Nancy Lee. So, and I found her on Twitter. I was like, and I sent her a direct message. I was like, I really want you to see what Tom said about you. Can I send you the real interview or the full interview? And she's like, yeah. And then I sent it to her and she said, okay, I'm going to send a message to everybody I'm still in contact with. And then literally like 2 seconds after she told me that, I got an email from Valerie. Like literally the like 2 seconds after. As
That
soon as she
is it's
Mhm.
that is beautiful, and
Yeah,
it's you, man. It's not us.
yeah.
Just so you understand, it's you have drawn out of us whatever it
Mhm.
is. I didn't talk to Valerie before she contacted you, so I don't know, and neither
Yeah,
did Tommy, but she felt the right to reach out. I've, come and
yeah,
visited you and your mom several times over however many
yeah.
years at this point. And
You yeah,
whenever you make it this way or I make it your way, I'm gonna see you again, which is a
yeah.
beautiful thing. But
Um yeah, you were the only one that was able to make it to every time I went.
hey,
Yeah, yeah. Um because at different times different people were doing things. Uh
yes.
I think at one point Mandy was shooting Windsor Drive
Mm-hmm.
one day, so she couldn't come, but you did.
Yeah.
And like after a while, Rob had moved to Atlanta, so he couldn't come to the last couple times.
Yeah, he asks about you though. I talked to Rob just a few months ago, and we've been kind of falling out of touch the last 2 months, but
Yeah,
we'll be back in touch shortly. And he's always
yeah,
asking about you, man. He always thinks about you.
yeah. He he surprisingly, I was really this is another one that I was really surprised by on the day of the interview. Of course, since we did it over the phone, he gave me his number in order to contact him for that time. But he's like, call me anytime. And so we've actually kept up over the years every now and then. It's like he's just like, yeah, call me anytime. We'll talk
Yeah,
anytime you
you know
want.
what? He's a great dude. I have to say,
Yeah,
of all the shows you get to work on, South of Nowhere being my first show really ruined me because it was such a nice group of people, and
yeah,
everybody was so giving, and everybody helped me. I was such a green actor. They're telling me like, that's you got to stand over there. That's your mark. Like I was just
yeah,
learning things, and I feel that I got so spoiled because it was such a happy set. And going on, going on from there to other shows and stuff. You get egos get involved, and it kind of takes the joy out of what we do, which is just play and pretend. It's really fun to play pretend and get paid for it. So
and
I feel like
yeah.
some people lose sight of that.
In some ways, you got more known for Supernatural, but you did more on South of Nowhere. It's kind of interesting.
It's interesting the optics of what
It's probably because there is no regular convention circuit because Viacom is stupid and
yeah.
doesn't want to do conventions for South of Nowhere. So yeah,
Yeah. It has sci-fi shows have these great conventions and it really draws in the crowds, but South of Nowhere kind of was a predecessor to that big movement of conventions. And so the
yeah,
fact that we put a convention together at all, I think was so awesome because
yeah,
it's unheard of for a teen drama to like
yeah,
have a convention.
and we did it without their like help and their money.
Yeah.
We were, yeah, it
Yeah, I
was,
mean, that was the most grassroots convention ever, and the fact that just about everybody showed
yeah,
up, even Tommy via webcam, was pretty
yeah,
incredible. And it says a lot about the show, man. South of
yeah.
Nowhere is what it was, and it did what it
I
did,
think
and it continued.
literally the only person that was a member of the cast for like most of the show that didn't wasn't there was Eileen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there was 17 of you guys
Wow.
between,
Was there?
yeah,
Holy
between,
cow.
yeah, between Nancy Lee, Paige, and Chad. The rest, yeah, there was 14 of you guys.
That's wild.
Yeah,
That's the full team.
yeah. Like I said, Eileen was, well, Rob couldn't make it, but yeah, there was 14 of you guys that ended up showing up. So
So, so what happens if there is a future? Do you have like in your perfect world, at the age that I am, should I return to play Aiden? What does that look like in your mind? Like, could you buy it? Like,
yeah,
I'm gonna give you the simple premise of this idea I came up with the other day. And I shouldn't do this because I'm gonna put this YouTube out or this video out on YouTube and it's a free pitch. So should a writer pick it up and write it, they can have my idea. But I love this idea. And this is crazy. And I'm picking it because it's dramatic and it's gritty and it is a modern it's somewhere between Euphoria and South of Nowhere, right? Because
that
Euphoria,
would be really cool.
yeah, because Euphoria almost is Degrassi in a sense, right?
Yeah.
And kind of marries South of Nowhere. It's a lot in there. So
Well,
my pitch,
Degrassi and everything else was basically off of the original 90210, if you think about
right,
it.
right,
So,
100%. So here, check,
well, actually, Degrassi, as we know it, because it's been going in Canada since 1980 something or other.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, the original like Degrassi Junior High or whatever started in like the 80s.
that's right.
Like, so the ones that we saw, which I resented that show for the longest time because they were doing a lot of the same stuff South of Nowhere did, and I thought South of Nowhere did it better. And then also, but they were allowed to get away with some of the stuff more.
Yeah,
Because I know the whole like PG wave that you guys had to go around
yeah.
certain things.
It was difficult.
Yeah, and like listen to Mandy and Gabby's descriptions of some of that stuff. It's hilarious.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Check
like
this out. Tell me
yeah,
what you think of this. And this is the first time I've ever spoke it out loud. I didn't even tell it to Tommy really, but Mandy and I have kind of loosely talked about it. What if there's a rebirth of South of Nowhere, right? And the show is just called King High. And
there you
then
go.
Aiden and Ashley, we pick up in the pilot episode and there's some severe trauma and we don't really know what, but in the pilot episode you're not seeing a lot of the other cast. You got Aiden and he's back at King High as a guidance counselor, physically distraught, clearly lost some weight, not a shiny golden boy that he used to be, but he's helping these kids through their.
Kind of like he was in the video that Nancy Lee wrote and all that stuff.
Yes,
Kind
yes,
of like
but
that.
even more, like he's seen a lot at this point, and he kind of is going forward and going back to King High because he wants to help these kids in the modern world, and I
Yeah.
mean this modern world that we live in, this
Right.
chaos of
Yeah.
wars and hate and this and all this stuff, and so
Yeah.
Aiden's back at King High, and he's back with Ashley.
Yeah. There you go.
Here's the kicker: she lost Spencer to cancer,
Nice.
destroying her life, sending her down a spiral of all this stuff. And she's very much a changed person. And we are not in a relationship, but we are in a relationship. She is still, we are not
You've
really,
always
we
the
are not
characters have
intimate.
always
We're
been
just,
like codependent. Like
I think it's like not an intimate relationship. I think it's like these two
yeah.
people that are broken and they're like roommates and they live
Yeah.
together. And maybe there is some, sexual tension at some
Yeah,
point.
they're very those characters are very codependent, I think.
And what if she, because she's so sick of what Los Angeles has turned into, she's running to be a local politician because she's got so much money?
Do you know what's funny is um I thought about that once where um I actually thought of what year, I can't remember exactly it is now, but like um I think 2034 the characters would technically be eligible to run for president.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Like, because
Really? Okay.
they were both 18-ish when the show was over. You have to be 34 or 35 to be president. So they would just miss uh, the 2030 election, I think.
But they can run for governor and mayor.
Yes.
They could run for city council or school board,
Yeah.
just, some kind
I
of
feel
thing.
like Spencer would be more likely to do that.
That's
But
why I think Ashley should do it, because we think
yeah.
Spencer would do it. That's my mind.
Well,
I want to
also
twist it.
they if you're thinking about that, and if Spencer did die in some way, uh, then um, then maybe Ashley's carrying on her aspirations. Like
Yes,
Spencer, like Spencer was going to be the politician or whatever, and make all these changes in the world, but she couldn't, so Ashley did it.
I like that.
That kind of thing.
I like that. I
Oh,
like
trust
that.
me, we could talk about this like forever.
And we
Uh,
should make, how about this one? Ready? Talk about switching roles, right? So you got Aiden comes back to school. He's trying to help these kids. You got Ashley, who was the it girl, the hot spot, the money girl that could like go wherever she wants. Now she's going to get real serious on social justice and become a politician. And then you got Valerie, who always wanted the spotlight, and she's famous. She's a famous actress in Hollywood now. How did those balloons just happen?
yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Did you just
She's
see those
like,
balloons?
yeah, and before there was like little thumbs up. I don't know what's going on.
Wait, how'd that
It's
happen?
almost
Balloons, celebration.
yeah, it's almost as if like you're already posting this somewhere, and other fans are reacting to it
Could
because
you
it's like
imagine I'm out there just sending this live right now because I'm a technical idiot and can't get it together?
that would be this. You realize though this little podcast thing is could potentially start the fans getting excited again.
I want to do it, Travis. I want to
Yeah,
do it. Let's do a
yeah,
follow up on the 19th. Let's chat for at least 10 minutes on the anniversary of the con. Let's write it down in email. So we'll just hop back on.
yeah.
We'll do another episode. We can celebrate whatever you
Oh,
want.
sure. I've got like I said, I always liked to write. Whenever I was in seventh grade, I started a local paper wanted like the school news stuff. So I started like writing a weekly type article for the about the school stuff, like dances and different things like that. And then when it like eventually it was like summer, I was like, can I just keep writing about whatever I could think of? And so I started doing that. And during that process, I actually interviewed a couple of people, and that's probably why I thought of, oh, I want to interview South and Nowhere people.
You're really good. You're really good in conversation, man. You really have an ability to just talk comfortably and allow me to feel comfortable where I don't feel like I have to drive the conversation. I feel like you're doing most of the work here. So you're good at this. And
Yeah,
maybe look, you got a
yeah.
webcam and you got a computer. Maybe Travis starts his own podcast, where you film an
I,
episode a week, even if it's just you.
well, like, am I actually centered right now when you see me? Because
No, you're a little off, but so am I.
yeah,
Look, I'm
yeah,
sitting to the side so I can have the
because
sign here, and then you're
yeah,
opposite me. So
because
when it edits, it'll probably look
yeah,
pretty cool.
okay, because like it seems like I'm like on my screen, I'm like totally off to me, but I don't know what's going on.
Can you you can tilt it a little if you want, if you want to try to turn your computer or the camera,
yeah,
or
I'm
just
not.
are
Um,
you in a wheelchair right now, or are you at a desk?
no, no, no. My chair has wheels, but it's a regular chair. It's a computer
Oh,
chair.
you could always try to roll over a little bit if you want. Either way,
Yeah,
it's
I've been
up to you.
trying to figure that out, like which way is the right way, but
I think you look pretty great. Don't worry about it. We're having a great
yeah,
conversation. Who cares what the frame looks like?
yeah.
This is about two
Um,
guys talking and catching up, showing some
uh,
love.
by the way, my mom did tell me to tell you hi.
Tell your mom I send my best. I love her very much. She's a wonderful
Yeah,
woman, and I hope she's doing
we
okay.
yeah, we were obviously planning on continuing our uh yearly journey. In fact, I planned it to at least go 12 times because I realized after I went a couple of times that we went in a different month every time.
Oh,
So
wow.
I was thinking I should at least go 12 times so I hit every month.
Yeah.
But and we were going to go the next year to in July for to celebrate my birthday. Uh but
When's your birthday?
July 8th.
Oh my God, my dad's is July 18th.
You know what's funny? I was supposed to be born on September 15th, which would
What?
have been my grandpa's birthday. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah.
Interesting.
And if I was born on September 15th, I would only be 4 days older than Mandy.
Oh my
But
God. That's so
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
Oh
But
man.
uh but yeah, I could literally give you like a billion different scenarios of possible, including gritty type storylines like you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think here's one thing where like all the all the ones that were students, then some of them are parents.
Oh,
And like so it's sort of like Degrassi in a way, where the next generation thing, but only as far as that goes.
yeah.
And their kids and other kids are, you're still getting the main characters, and they're still having really screwed up stories
It's
going
so
on.
interesting that you say that, that some of the ex, main characters, the ex students can now be parents, because that opens the door to so many lovely, topics to bring up, like,
Yeah,
interracial, marriages with, and then the kid being in the school and
yeah.
dealing with that. There's a
Well,
lot
like
of
yeah,
voices.
Chelsea and Glenn, interracial couple.
Yeah.
There you go. And technically, Eileen is half Filipino. You could do a racial situation with that.
Yeah. I
Uh,
just think whatever reflects what's going on in the world
yeah,
has to be reflected in the shows. So the world's
right.
extremely colorful everywhere you look. It's got to be
And
colorful in
yeah,
the show.
and as much as politics are evil and it's annoying, that would have to be covered as much as crap is going on.
Just Travis, just imagine for a second Ashley Davies in front of a podium and she's running for an independent party or something like
Yeah,
that. Like, who's
but
got a stronger?
also she'd be bucking the trends as far as she would not want to dress up the normal way.
No, but
Like,
maybe she does it up like extra chic, right? Like
no,
she's
that's what I
dressed.
mean. Like
Yeah.
she wouldn't be like in your like a buttoned up pantsuit kind of situation.
I'm gonna write this. This I need to call Tommy. We got to write this. I like this
Yeah,
idea.
and
Everybody fits in, and it's more interesting than ever because it's
yeah.
later in life and the world's
Oh,
crazy.
yeah. Um, like, it'd be really cool. This has never been done, and it would be really cool, but it'd be very complicated, I think. If somehow you got, since like the fan fiction stuff was huge.
Yes,
So, and a lot of the fans have like tremendous ideas. Like
incredible.
it's crazy. Um, some of them are really too far out there on on a risque kind of level, and they're just weird. But and a lot of them are like just really gritty things, and like if somehow like fans could like write in ideas or something, and then they were given to the writers, and then like, here, do something with this, like because
I think it's possible. Here's the thing: is South of Nowhere resonated with so many people, and so many people cared passionately about those characters and their stories. I think there's life after. I don't know if it's called South of Nowhere, if it revolves around all the characters, but I think the initiation of you and these email chains, getting me and you talking, getting me and Tommy talking, me and Rob talking, Mandy and I are talking. There's a lot of South of Nowhere energy in the universe right now. I don't know what's going to happen, but something
here's
could
something.
happen.
Can This would require the cast members getting involved as much as they did whenever we were trying to get MTV and
Let me
whatever
tell you
that
though,
thing
let me
was.
tell you the difference now, Travis. The difference now is I'm a trained filmmaker. I'm a DGA
Okay,
director and I have some
but
expertise in making stuff. I'm not just some actor that
yeah,
wants to get on camera
but
anymore.
here's an idea though. You
Huh.
could you could do a lot of things, like it's not
Slide to your right 6 inches. There you
right.
go. Right there. Perfect.
Okay.
That's the spot.
Um, but you could do whatever happened to web series. They were getting really huge, and then they not.
You know what? Web series, what happened to web series is that there became so many platforms on the web
Right.
actually
Yeah.
airing real shows and movies. So
Yeah.
now it's like the shorter content in the web series don't exist because you can go to YouTube and people are just turning out free stories.
Yeah.
If I put a production on YouTube and turned it out for free, it'd probably get a 500,000 viewers if it was a South of Nowhere episode. But then,
Right.
we got to get advertisers to pay those bills so we can continue to
Yeah.
make the show.
But like you could easily sort of like hint to a lot of things, sort of like Girl Trash hinted towards a lot of South of Nowhere stuff, but didn't because it wasn't, especially in the movie,
Yeah.
like it was basically sort of a love story to or a love letter to Spencer and Ashley in a weird
Could
sort
have
of way.
been could have been one of the greatest all female musical
Yeah, that was
dramatic comedies I've ever seen in my life, but they didn't. The filmmakers behind it unfortunately didn't finish it, and they dropped the ball at the end. Um, but
yeah,
that movie had such potential. I'd never been so excited for something.
yeah.
But the
But
producers and the
like,
creative team got into an embattled situation, and
did you
unfortunately, the film
know that?
suffered.
Yeah, Tom actually, because I asked him once, like, what are all the different like ways that you thought about continuing South of Nowhere in some way? He actually said Broadway.
Yeah.
That would be freaking weird.
Okay, so how about this? What about just let's put together a 10 or 12, 13 episode order and do one episode musical, like a full
Yeah,
blown musical episode.
yeah, but can enough people sing to make that work? I don't know.
Doesn't matter. We'll get some voiceovers and we'll fake it till we make it, baby.
It's
Come
kind
on.
of like the episode where Kyla pretends that she can sing, and
Right.
then yeah. See, I can relate anything to South of Nowhere. It doesn't take me very long, and I also am like I'm not quick on writing stuff down because like I'm slow physically,
Yeah.
but um, but I can.
Talk to text. We'll get you an
Yeah,
app on
that's
your
what
computer where you could just yell at it.
yeah, that's what I usually do.
Yeah.
Because if I was writing a response to half the things that people say, I would be like I'd still be on my phone or my computer type
Yeah.
responding to somebody that sent me something earlier today.
Yeah.
But like one thing that would have been what I was gonna I'm jumping around, but
That's
one
all
thing
right.
I was gonna say is this would require you guys to really get behind it because the fans, it's a catch 22. You
Yeah.
guys want to see the fans get behind it, but the fans want to see you get behind it. So it's got to work together. And this is
But how
something,
about this? But what if I'm in control of the biggest
but
people to get behind it? Like I could get a
yeah,
Nancy Lee, a Tommy Lynch, a Matt, and a Mandy 100% on
yeah,
board in a week.
okay. But what I'm talking about something, I'm trying to talk about something that's like different.
Uh,
Uh, let's get like, we should be able to get the reruns on Paramount Plus.
that is an interesting conversation. I would have to approach Tommy about that because I don't
I
know who
mentioned it
owns
to
the
him
rights.
before, and he said he was going to look into it, but I don't know if he ever did. But like, think about it. The streaming services always need new content.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have to pay for rights because I think Viacom still owns it,
Right.
and it could still reach a lot of people, which
Yeah.
would help them. Plus, it could reach new fans and give them a reason to say, "Oh, we should be interested in this. We should be interested in maybe doing a one-off movie or something,"
Yeah.
because there's a whole lot of buzz behind it. But
I listen. I really hope that is possible. I think anything's possible at this point.
yeah,
In my experience in Hollywood, I've been told
that's yeah.
no. Just keep on
I
trying.
mean, people love the idea of new content,
Yeah.
obviously, but if we could just get the reruns somewhere, like and Paramount Plus would be perfect because it's a streaming service, so you don't have to put it on a network at a certain time, and it doesn't cost network time.
Yeah.
That kind of they don't have to plan that kind of stuff. Just
Yes.
stick
So
all the episodes.
this is what you and I need to do. Before we talk again, we should put down on paper some basic premises that really stick out to us, something that really kind of we could see that as something we'd want to watch on TV, and potentially other South fans and potentially new fans would be interested because it's so current and relevant to what's going on. So you and I
Yeah,
should spend some time. We should hop on another
yeah,
podcast, whether it's the 19th or whenever we have time in the
yeah.
coming weeks. I want to talk to you. I want to elaborate on all this stuff more. And I think
Yeah.
let's put the pen to the paper. I've got some ideas how I see Aiden and how I can make
Oh
Ashley
yeah,
interesting, and
there's
Valerie and
so
Rob,
many.
and you
Yeah.
bring in Maeve, and you make Maeve
Oh,
a
I've thought of
wild
a.
one.
I've got an idea for a whole nother thing that would involve a lot of you guys, but and it would be like a modern sort of situation. Uh, and this part, if you're um editing this part probably shouldn't be in the actual thing, but yeah, the I have this idea where a bunch of kids, which were you guys, like specifically you, Matt, Mandy, or you and
Chris.
Mandy, Asha, and like certain specific, and Rob, I've got an idea of like this thing where originally, say there's this like a director who wanted to have real life teenagers play these roles. So we
Mm,
did like a national or not a contest, but a casting
audition.
thing.
Yeah.
And so you guys were the actors on a South of Nowhere-esque type show that pushed boundaries and stuff like that. Uh, and this is like years afterwards now, and it's sort of like almost South of Nowhere meets Entourage, where
Yeah. No, it's
like it's
interesting.
talking about, yeah, where it's like you guys experienced a lot of things in the in your lives, like through the show you didn't
Right.
get a chance to experience, like maybe the only prom you actually went to was the one that you did on the show,
Yeah, man.
like
Yeah.
because you had those experiences only on that show because they wanted people that were actually the ages that they were playing. So
Sure. Sure. Interesting. Travis,
yeah,
you creative monster.
yeah, and I actually thought of this one a while ago, and I have a name for it. Hollywood and life, because it's like the intersection between Hollywood and life.
I like it. Now I don't think you elaborated on it too much where I can have to take it out of the podcast. If you want me to take it out, I
Yeah,
will. It's up
but
to you.
yeah, it's well. The thing is, I want to tell you all about it, but
But save it. Some listen, we've given away plenty of free ideas here today. Let's
yeah,
save some for the private Matt and Travis creative sessions that literally could
yeah,
lead to an actual series. We've given away enough
yeah.
ideas today. Save some
Oh,
inside.
yeah, I've got like I'm constantly always that's a problem that I have, is like my mind, it's not a problem, but it also is a problem. And because my mind is always going, I think it's overcompensating for the fact that my body can't.
That's a beautiful
Like,
thing. That's a
but
gift right there.
it is good, but it's also like crazy at times. But like I've got so many concepts for you guys and other stuff.
I hope you're writing them down. You need to start
Yeah,
do your voice to text on the computer and open a document that says
yeah,
whatever, one line. And then when you think of
yeah,
other creative stuff and you want to add to it, make sure you're putting it down on the paper because it will grow and you'll read it again and you'll go, that's not as good as I
I
thought.
actually wrote out some of the ideas of the Hollywood in Life idea,
Good.
where yeah, and it's sort of like I think I might actually want in it. I might want um Mandy and Gabby to be related, so that they are not considered like they're actually sisters or something.
Right.
That,
That could
that
fly.
so that way they're not considered by fans. Oh yeah,
Wait, wait, wait. What if we did South of Nowhere Metaverse?
like all different.
Role reversal. So it's
Yeah,
later in life, this age, right? This age
yeah,
Aiden. But in this universe, maybe I have the personality of Spencer. Maybe Ashley has the maybe
You actually did.
Ashley has the personality of Mrs. Carlin, you know, like something
Did
crazy.
you do you remember you actually did a webisode like that with
Yes.
where you guys like made fun of each other,
Yes.
the character wise, and that could be funny. But like, have you ever seen what is it called? It's Daniel Radcliffe's in it. It's on TBS or whatever, and they tell the different stories each season. Like, and I think um they actually put the different people, the different actors as the different characters, like they're
Wow.
playing different characters at different points.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah. That's
so
you have some
yeah,
good ideas, man.
Steve Buscemi and Daniel Radcliffe are in, and I can't remember what it's called, and I don't think I've actually ever really watched it. But that's the concept of where they tell a story. Each season is a different story, but sometimes I think they actually somehow play different parts, like, um,
It's
like
kind of like
some,
Drunk History. Have you ever seen Drunk History? The
yes,
show, like all the
yeah,
actors and famous different
yeah,
people pop in and pop out.
but but they no. What I'm saying is they actually play each other's roles. Like they'll flip in different episodes or something
What
like
if we
that.
did a South of Nowhere sitcom, like three
Yeah,
camera, big comedy, like, hello everybody, I'm here.
yeah. That'd be an interesting
Nah,
like
it's got to be drama. It's got to be
no,
a
but it'd
dark
be an
drama.
interesting like alternate thing, like some like a dream sequence or something.
I
It could
think
be
this. I think we can come up with a concept that utilizes Matt Cohen as this age person, Mandy as that age person, and some of the other cast as the age they are. And if we get a season order, if we develop it well enough, we will all have the opportunity to make those episodes, the musical episode,
yeah.
the role switching episode. It would be a really
That's
fun
a
thing.
and that's an idea for it's sort of like an idea for a TV show I had once where uh people re actors recreate like the uh biggest episodes of different shows or the biggest moments um like if you had um like the Dallas had that Who Shot JR thing.
Right.
If you redid all these famous things, but like with new people in a different in a like a modern version, it would be kind of interesting. Like each episode is just one of those things.
I'm thinking like the season finale of Friends, but with the cast of Married with Children.
There you go. That's funny.
But
Or
I know I get what you're saying. I'm just being a
yeah,
goofball. I totally get it.
but
And I like that stuff.
or yeah, or like could you or if the Brady Bunch had done something uh edgy, like if you take one of their episodes and modernize it for today's screwed up world.
Or imagine a episode of South of Nowhere where the kids fit into the Brady Bunch, you know, the intro and an episode of
Yeah,
that, right? Here's a story
yeah. You know,
of
like
a
his
girl
dad
named
and his
Ashley.
yeah,
She was do do do
yeah.
do do do
I've
do Spencer.
yeah. I actually I got I get sidetracked and bored sometimes, so I'll come up with like the weirdest things. And one of the songs in South of Nowhere that Ashley sings, it's none of them are a full song. So like some of the ones that, but I took one of them and actually finished it because I was bored one day.
No way.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Oh, it's
I wrote it
awesome.
down.
Maybe I could get
Yeah.
Mandy to sing it.
I can't sing, so but
You and me both, buddy.
I I wrote it though, so it's funny. And I actually you remember that song Gabby did? The
Yeah, Kissing Mandy.
yeah, I
It's a great
I
song.
put it in the South of Nowhere world. I made
Great.
it Kissing Ashley.
Oh, I like
I
that.
flipped it and sort of made it like I did one where it's like that. Yeah.
That's
It's funny.
awesome. There's so much
Yeah.
creativity. I love that the show has inspired all this
Yeah.
in you. You're such a
Yeah.
creative heart. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Like I literally was writing before I was writing. Like I would tell my mom stories and make her write them down.
Yeah. Never stop doing that. You know how
Yeah,
therapeutic and important that is to your
yeah,
survival, getting those stories out of your mind and onto a
right, yeah.
paper or a computer.
If I like a lot of people, like I have depression and stuff and bipolar, and the fact that like uh, writing has always been sort of something that's like a therapy thing for me.
Yeah.
So if I have writer's block, it's a really bad day or a really bad couple of days.
And you know
Like
what you're supposed to do on
people,
those days, though? You know what you're supposed to do? I'm going to tell you right now. You're going to email
okay,
Matt Cohen. And Matt Cohen's going to hop on an email or a video thing with you, and we're going to work it out, man, because
yeah,
life is too short to be sad by yourself. So pick up a phone and reach out to somebody. I'm your buddy. I'm your friend. I'm always going to be your buddy and your friend. So you don't got to suffer by yourself anytime. You know
yeah,
that, right?
yeah.
It's important that you know that.
Um, but yeah. So if I have writer's block, it's actually a very dark time for me. Whereas a lot of people, they're just like, oh, I'll come back to it, or or if you're a professional writer, well, you got to meet a deadline, so you just try
You got to
or
push
something.
through. Yeah,
But like for me, it can be really screwed up day if I or week or whatever it is until I figure out the thing.
I'm sure.
Sometimes I'll just be weird about it and like write down that I can't think of anything and like write down all
That's
these
not weird. That's
yeah,
good. That's what they say.
I
Write
know.
something is better than nothing. You know, it'll help you. It'll get you to the next point.
Um yeah, but like one thing I wanted to get back to for a second was the getting reruns or something is really would be really important, and I think it'd be a whole lot easier to do than trying to
Well,
get
I'm going to write
reruns.
a note. Let me get a piece of paper here and I'll write, I don't know if
Yeah,
you can hear me, but I'll write some notes of some things that we talked about so I can
yeah,
at least send an email, right? I maybe send an email
yeah,
to Tommy and say, hey, buddy, I just want to pick your brain about this.
yeah. The like because a lot of fans that are always wanting to still be able to see it, but everywhere it has been in the past, like it was on uh formerly Teen Nick's website, when it was the Inn, all the episodes were there, all the webisodes were there.
Yeah.
Then now it's not there. It's not even, I don't think it's even mentioned on their website anymore, anywhere. Uh, Even like in their old, sort of thing. But then it was on like Logo's website, they had all the episodes. And After Ellen had it for a while. And, you know, I'm sure it's still on some illegal websites somewhere around.
Yeah.
But and like YouTube somewhere. But
It's not
but
good enough. We need proper reruns on a proper platform so people can
yeah,
reach out and hear the message.
yeah.
I've
But
written
yeah,
down some notes here, so we're gonna get something accomplished before the next time we talk.
yeah, like there's a lot of fans that want to see it again. And could you imagine how much that still it's very outdated now, some of it,
Yeah.
some of the conversations and things, but it's also sort of timeless in a lot of ways because the messages are are still would still work.
Yeah,
Like the yeah,
it's the underdog, right?
tones
It's
and
like
stuff that are outdated, but
I talked to Tommy about this recently, and he likes to show the underdog, right? The person that's got to
yeah.
struggle, the couple nobody believes in, the person that is having the hardest way through.
He needs to be able to have a get off the kid leash again.
Yeah, but
Like
here's the
he
thing: he has a magic for creating
yes,
people
but he
content.
also did really powerful stuff with South of Nowhere,
Well,
and
he's got some stuff coming. He's got some
yeah,
stuff coming up. I'll
yeah,
tell you, October
and
17th.
he has sent me scripts before that had nothing to do with kid stuff, and they're really good, and I want them to be made.
Yeah, yeah, you
And
should.
he,
Um, Let me fill you in on something real quick that I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about or not, given that we're actors on strike, but I am a non-working actor at this point, and I don't have a show, and I'm not on this show, so I'm only advertising this show as a writer or creative partner, or helper of a friend. So he's got this great new show. He showed me the trailer. It's called I Woke Up a Vampire, premieres on
he
Netflix October 17th, and
he's
it's already got
yeah.
2 season order, and it's
Oh,
really going
that's
to be
cool.
fun.
I didn't know that. The only thing I didn't know that you just said was that it was the 2 season order thing, because he sent me uh like the first episode or something. Yeah,
Wow. That's pretty
because yeah,
special.
yeah, like I'm
What'd you think of it? Can I get
no,
a unbiased critique?
well, it's for kids,
Right,
so
it's for
like,
kids, but come on, put
yeah,
yourself in your peanut
then
butter and jelly
he
thumb
always
sucking shoes for a second.
he always put like he always figures out a way to put like humor that adults will appreciate in kid stuff.
Smart
Like
man.
because um I don't remember specific jokes, but the first time me and my mom were there, he got us on the set of a kid show that he was working on then, and like some of it obviously was kid related, but there were parts where we were both laughing because it's funny. He's
Yeah.
just he's good at that. Like,
If you
but
haven't seen, hold on, let me tell you a good movie that's got it's a kid movie, and I know because I have an 8-year-old and we've watched it since
yeah,
he's been 4. It's called Lego Batman. Have you seen this?
uh-uh.
It's got a great amount of adult humor. You must see it. You'll enjoy
Okay, I will check into that. But yeah, I've he's been super nice over the years and sent me some scripts that he's worked on.
Yeah.
And there's some stuff that is like South of Nowhere in that same sort of like edgy kind of thing,
Yeah.
but in like way above what South of Nowhere was allowed to do. But like,
Sure.
but but this is the first show, the one that he's got coming on the 17th is the first one that he's done with Netflix. And I think I might, in a weird way, be the reason, well, part of the reason why he actually did it.
Oh,
In the
really?
sense that, because I kept telling him, you need to there's all these streaming opportunities now. You need to do that because just trying to fit yourself into the Nickelodeon family or whatever all the time. There's more opportunities. And then, this is his first Netflix thing. Before, I think it almost seemed like he was kind of scared to do it. Like, or he was comfortable with his Nickelodeon thing because he knows people there and
Sure. At some point you take the jobs to get the paycheck so you can pay your bills and you put your most creative passions on a little bit of hold. So maybe he did that and he
yeah,
had to pick and choose to pay some bills. He's got, several children he's got to put through school and stuff.
yeah. That he is like amazing though, like as a person, like you wouldn't.
I'm so excited for you to see our podcast chat together, even though I had so many technical difficulties. I've recorded 2 podcasts this week, and one of them was with the great and powerful Chad Lindbergh, who is in the first Fast and the Furious. He plays Jesse. I think
I
he dies early on in the movie, but
I've seen it, but I don't remember.
he's the heart of the movie, and he's one of my greatest friends from Hollywood. And I brought him in, and
Did you do you see what's going on? There's fireworks.
how is that happening?
I have no idea.
How is that happening? We gotta,
Maybe
we don't know what's going on. You're
I
sending
don't
me
know. That's never
fireworks.
happened in any of the other ones.
How do you do that? Where's the button for that?
I'm not doing anything.
I feel like you're making fireworks happen, and I feel special today.
That's never happened in any of your other ones.
Never.
Like
I've never seen that, and I've done a
like
thousand Zoom interviews.
there's never been any balloons or fireworks or anything.
Never, not once. All right,
Thumbs up.
listen.
I
Here's my
saw
thing.
thumbs up
My
like
my recording is going to run out of time, so we need to bring this to a close, and I want to button up some things here because we've talked about so many great things, and we're going to get back on. So to
okay.
finish this up, do me a favor, slide to your right 6 inches, just so I can
Uh,
have you center. Okay. I want to have a follow up with you. On our follow up, we're going to talk about some of these things that are very important. I'm going to reach out to Tommy, talk about rerun potential for South of Nowhere, if there's
yeah.
anywhere it can sleep. And I think I have already written down 3 character descriptions for 3 lead characters on the former South of Nowhere, which could now be called something else. But I have some real pitches, and my mind is reeling after talking to. I consider you our number one fan, our number one supporter, one of my tightest friends that I've known for now over a decade, I would imagine. It's been a long
Yeah.
time. And I am inspired by you. I'm
I believe
inspired.
we first actually met in 2011. Or
So 10 years, we're calling it a decade. We're old friends now.
I could actually figure it out because I have the interviews on my computer still, and
Everybody's going to know how old we are if we figure it out.
I wrote the date on all of the interviews, so I could.
Hold on before you do that, because we're running out of time on my recording. Is there anything you want to put out to the universe, to the fans of South of Nowhere, or anybody follows you? If there's any Instagram or Twitter links you want people to find you at, anything you have.
Every time I get on Twitter, I just say that I'm sorry that I don't get on as much anymore. And like I used to like post every day on like what you guys were doing or anniversaries and stuff like that.
How about this? How about I'm going to email you a selfie of the two of us doing this interview, and you can post that.
Okay.
Let's see how this works. Let me get up close.
Like we did something. And then when you're
do me a favor, look right at your camera.
Huh? Oh, sorry,
No, I think we got it. That's great. Make sure there's no random paraphernalia of any sorts in the background, and then I'm going to email this to you, and feel free to put it out. You have just finished MC on the Mic podcast, and I think that the 19th is another date. Let's see, how many days away is that? That's 6 days away.
Yeah.
So maybe we hop on for a few minutes on the 19th to talk about the convention and what the show means to us, if we can both make it work with our schedules, obviously.
Yeah, I never have anything going on. Like with my disability, it makes my time wide open most of the time.
I'm telling you, you got to start a podcast, buddy. You can just talk into it like a comedian, like a creative. You have lots to say and lots of great stuff that people want to hear.
I used to, whenever MySpace was actually a thing, I used to post like random thoughts, and they're just like really off the wall, random shit that I would come up with.
Yeah, but that's interesting.
Observations like, they like one was something like, they say when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. But I say, if life gives you lemons, the first reaction should be something like, holy shit, because life can't physically give you anything.
That's funny, man.
Yeah.
You should see, listen, I just don't want you to underestimate yourself. I think you're a powerful human being. Every time I talk to you, I'm inspired. Every time I hear from you or know that you're looking for us, I feel obligated to get back to you because you're an important person. So no matter what, just do you. And if you have some extra time to put yourself out there, you should, because you have something special that attracts people, and that's very rare, and it's special, and we can't hide it away. You know what I'm saying? You got to put yourself out there, because you might be that voice that somebody needs to stay alive today, or pick themselves up today. You might be that guy for somebody.
Now I might be a liar because I can't find that interview, but I will.
All right, don't worry about it, Travis. I have to sign off. Give me a over and out. Say goodbye to the good people of YouTube, and you and I will roundabout and rendezvous again next week. How about that?
Okay, sounds cool.
All right, Travis, I will touch base with you. I'll reach out to you email. I'm going to send this picture. Everybody out there, follow my man Travis. What's your Twitter handle?
The one I use for this stuff is Sun Online.
SONONLINE. That's South of Nowhere abbreviated online. Go follow my guy. He's going to have whatever exclusive content I can leak to him, so he can leak it to you. And we're going to keep this thing alive and see if we can recreate something. Over and out, people. We love you so much. Bye, everybody.
Peace.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.